This morning, very pleased to welcome SABC digital multimedia producer, Mr. Neo Motloung. Neo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Alicia. How are you?
All right, I'm very well, thank you. Now, on the main panel, I do have media specialist, Mr. Neo Motloung, political analyst, Mr. Dumisani Hlope, and from our Pretoria studios, we are hoping to be joined by Professor Somadoda Figeni. Gentlemen, a very good morning to both of you. Welcome back.
Good morning.
All right, now let's take it away. What were the biggest hashtags?
It was a big week this week. Neo Motuang, Prophet Neo Motuang, still making news on social media, not only locally but internationally. I mean, we asked a question on our social media platform: what do you make of the congregates who continue to support religious leader alleged or proven to have behaved badly or even criminally? I mean, you have 14% of those who took part saying, "Who are we to judge?"
That's interesting.
Yes, 21% says it's an indoctrination, 34% say desperation to faith, and 31% says personal choice.
So what did the people in turn then say besides this poll, Neo?
I mean, we saw mixed reactions on social media. I mean, this by T saying Neo Motuang should be jailed. After deported back to his country, his recruiters also deserve to rot in jail.
Let's get more views on that story. Lebusa says, hashtag Tim Omotoso, I thank God for your life, Papa. You are a true man of God. Hashtag free Tim Omotoso.
These are the reactions we saw. I mean, this one by Tabiso, a final one, saying hashtag Tim Omotoso. It's ironic that this fake pastor is defended by young women and mothers. This is saddening.
Very saddening indeed. I want to hear from the gentleman. Dumsan, let's start with you. Don't smile. What do you think about the developments on this case?
It is quite saddening, but it's pretty common when the big men are faced with the challenges of rape and sexual abuse to be defended by women and young girls. My assumption is that in the process of abusing a whole lot, I think they do take care of a few in anticipation of such challenges somewhere down the line.
I suppose, Melo, the question again, where are we as a country when it comes to religion versus the law?
I think ultimately for me, this issue speaks to notions of consent and respecting people's rights.
Absolutely.
Right? Because, I mean, things like rape, it's an infringement of people's rights. But also, like, just to pick up on what Dumisani said, I think one of the critical things is that we tend to want to have a one-sided view of a person. Humans are complex. A person can be both bad and good at the same time, and we shouldn't just want to discount the other because of a few good things that a person has done.
Very interesting outlook there. Now, let's go to the next big hashtag of this week. Got me thinking there, Melo.
It's the World Forum in Africa 2017.
We missed out, of course, because we had to be here and work. All right, but what was happening? What is this that we're looking at?
It's taking place in Durban. We asked the question on social media once again, do you think the outcome of World Africa 2017 will make any difference to your life? 55% said no.
Wow.
10% said yes, and you have 21% saying I'll wait and see. Then 14% say were there outcomes? You know, it's a question.
It's a big question. People are not convinced.
No,
I mean, we do hear that nothing is ever signed, in particular at the World Economic Forum. It is, however, discussions that people can engage with on a further platform to try and effect those solutions. Let's look at the tweets now.
I mean, the new Minister of Finance, Malusi Gigaba, really created a stir on social media, and people were really impressed by what he had to say. I mean, you have Yonela saying so impressed with Minister of Finance, Malusi Gigaba's emphasis on education. And the following tweet also says, I am impressed by what he said in relation of black-owned local businesses. We have to look at other better businesses prospects.
Hashtag Gigaba. Ruvembo Kaukonde says, Minister Gigaba, adaptability and dynamism. Young people should get involved at a young age, take on a variety of assignments. Hashtag WEF Africa 17. I know President Jacob Zuma was very impressed that he has initially put young people in charge of the economy. Dumsan?
Well, I know the minister personally, and I think he's very articulate and knowledgeable. But sometimes in this country, we got caught up in individuals rather than the structures and the dynamics of the economy. So as articulate as he is, I mean, he keeps saying that, you know, the policies, are not changing. So the question is, as much as he understands these issues, how does he intend to accelerate, transformation in the context of the non-change of the existing policies that have been there for the last donkey years.
And have been problematic.
Yeah.
Melo, what do you think?
I think for me, these WF platforms are very interesting because as we remember, like in 1992, it was in Davos where Mandela was convinced that nationalization actually is no longer where the world should be at. I mean, it was the Chinese and Vietnamese that managed to convince him of that. So it's very interesting to look at where people say that these things actually do not have an impact on their day-to-day lives, but then ultimately they do have an impact because policies that get made at that level, I mean, for example, if South Africa had taken an alternative path, I mean, we'd have made much more inclusive economy as opposed to what we have at the moment.
You know, that begs the question, you know, how well informed is our society, particularly our youth, when it comes to our economic issues, so that, you know, you have that, that right to say, you know what, I want to make a contribution or even a comment to say, you know, I think this does not work. All right, now, finally, what can we look at before I let you go?
It's Bafana Bafana. After 4 months, they have a coach. It was announced.
Stuart Baxter is the new lucky man.
Yes.
Congratulations to him.
That's great news.
I'm very, very interested to hear what people are saying on social media.
We also had a poll. I mean, the question was finally, okay,
there it is.
The poll asked, SAFA finally appoints Stuart Baxter as Bafana Bafana coach. Are you happy? Hashtag SABC News. We had about 41% saying yes, and then 59% of them saying no. So there are huge numbers of people who are saying no, unlike the previous.
Let's look at the tweets. Do you have any tweets about that? Particularly, I mean, I think his team sent him off to a great send-off yesterday, winning by 3-2 against that team yesterday. But focus on this first. Pumzile Mpompo says, all the best to the new hashtag Bafana Bafana coach, Stuart Baxter. I hope the whole nation will support him 100%.
And the following tweet is, didn't Baxter do badly at Bafana Bafana first time around? Is he being called back because he did well at the Kaizer Chiefs? I mean, those are just mixed reactions.
And Katarina Ribesel says, welcome back, Stuart Baxter. Stuart Baxter, hashtag Bafana Bafana. You know, a lot of people are concerned if he can go to Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, if he can move to Super Sport and then bring all the players that were at Kaizer Chiefs, isn't he going to do the same when it comes to Bafana Bafana? Are we ever going to see new players, Melo? A quick one.
Well, I mean, very interesting. I mean, the job of head coach of Bafana Bafana, I think it's also a bit political also, because then the various clubs also want their players to be featured in the national team. And if that doesn't happen, then obviously that tend to usually lead to problems.
Dumsadi, a quick word.
I'm still aggrieved at how he left Kaizer Chiefs, being a Kaizer Chiefs fan myself. Although I'm rethinking that. But look, I expect him to bring more young stars into Bafana Bafana. I think the way that he did well with Kaizer Chiefs was blending in young stars with experienced players. So I expect him to do that.
Look, I think he's doing a pretty good job at SuperSport. Now give our viewers out there the URL where they can get all this information at home.
So you can get all this information on our Facebook is SABC News Online. Also Twitter is SABC News Online. YouTube, where you get the show, is also SABC Digital News.
All right. Now we'll obviously probably see you next week. Thank you so much for all the content that you gathered for us this week. When we return, we're going to discuss the highlights of the World Economic Forum on Africa 2017 that took place in Durban this past week. You don't want to miss that. It's coming up after this.